call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chung, Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Power.
Here.
And Mayor Povencourt.
Here.
Councilmember Chung is absent tonight. Thank you.
Okay, we have our invocation by Brother Edward Stewart from the Church of Latter-day Saints. If you could come up, please.
Our Father in heaven, we thank thee that we're here tonight. We thank thee for the beautiful city that we live in. We thank thee for the people who are here. We thank thee for the freedoms that we enjoy in this nation. Father, we ask a blessing upon our leaders. We ask a blessing upon the people of this city, that they can choose and act according to thy will. Father, please help this nation that it may be blessed and prosper. Please help us to have peace. Please bless our law enforcement, our military, and those who are struggling. And Father, we ask a special blessing upon each of us, that our needs may be met, and we may be healthy and strong, and be able to serve thee according to thy will. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. That was great. Okay. Pledge of allegiance. Mary Ann, would you like to do the pledge?
Sure.
Thank you.
So moved. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Bailey, community engagement.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm here today to talk about Tehachapi's Extraordinary Women Recognition. So on March 16th, the city of Tehachapi had the honor of celebrating 4 of our 5 extraordinary women: Kristen Baccarizo, Cheryl Graham Wilson, Shawnee Patrick, and Carol Larrymore. And today we are thrilled to recognize our 5th recipient, Marianne Pacello. Marianne serves as the chairperson for Tehachapi Valley Recreation and Park District and is the owner of both McDonald's locations here in Tehachapi. After reviewing nearly 70 nominations, alongside Mayor Pro Tem Jeanette Power, Community Engagement Key Budge, and myself, we aim to highlight individuals who truly make a difference in keeping Tehachapi a wonderful place to live. Marianne's impact on our community is evident through her dedication, providing employment opportunities for many residents, and her ongoing commitment to TVRPD. Because of her generosity and involvement with so many individuals at McDonald's, she has gained the nickname McMama. Her leadership and service continue to make a meaningful difference in the lives of those around her, and we are honored to have you as part of this incredible community. At this time, I'd like to invite Marianne to come forward along with the mayor and city council members for the presentation of her certificate, and then we'll do photos following.
Tea for you. You're welcome.
Marianne is not only, here I go, McMama to her employees, but I had her children in school and they were fantastic and I enjoyed them tremendously. So she's a good McMama, just period. So I'm glad. Thanks, Kobe. And she does her job in a very quiet, humble manner. And she's sneaky that way because she doesn't say too much, but she certainly gets things done. So we love McMama. Okay. Marianne, you have truly made a lasting impact on our community. We eat too many French fries. As a business owner, providing jobs through McDonald's and through your passion for sports and local programs, you continue to uplift Tehachapi in so many ways. Your service on the board of directors for the Tehachapi Valley Parks and Recreation Department reflects your deep commitment to our community and its future. As Ryan Chambers said, she has the biggest heart anyone could have. And that is evident in everything you do. Yes, sneaky mama. Tehachapi is incredibly fortunate to have a woman like you who gives you so much to support and strengthen our community. You are truly extraordinary. Congrats.
Thank you. Three, two, one. And we'll look here.
You guys can come up if you want to get closer, if you want to take photos.
And then if you want to invite your family and friends, you can.
Yes,
So Mary Ann's friends and
Alex,
family, come
Gabe.
on up.
everybody, Lonnie, Chris,
Couple more photos
Elsie.
right here.
Alex, you gotta get in the picture too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can take one on your phone if you like.
Here I go.
Family and friends, please. Switch places.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah. You go there and I'll go here. My other friend.
Let's start with Bailey. She's got a couple.
3, 2, 1. Perfect. And we'll do one right here. 3, 2, 1.
We need Corey in the picture though.
Oh, get over here. You'll figure it
Tell
out.
me, am I tall or short?
You're McFamily?
Tall or short? Well, here, go. You can
Definitely
be tall and
McFamily.
I'll just go on
3,
this
2,
side.
1. Perfect.
Okay, and me? Good deal.
All right, one more with Corey. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I have someone's phone.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, good. Do I have council with any comments other than mine? That would be great. Mary Ann? Yeah, she has to, this is Mary Ann. Bill?
Just thank you for all you've done for the community, and you've really shined. Thank you so much.
Jeanette?
We've had a chance to work with you in past events as a Chamber of Commerce president and as well as a councilman. And Pogie said it accurately. You're very quiet and effective. You're stealthy McMama. But you're always there and you're always supportive in this
Quiet
community.
but deadly.
Thank you. Somebody from the Ronald McDonald House came up from Bakersfield to say a few words.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House, we just want to say how proud we are of Mary Ann for being recognized by her community. Mary Ann gives countless of hours to the public service of Tehachapi and Bakersfield, the Bakersfield area each year. Mary Ann has been recognized from McDonald's for all her contributions in various women's networks within the business, in the unities and beyond. She's also been with the house since it's opened and on the board for 17 years, and she does a lot. She frequently visits the house. We've served a lot of families from Tehachapi. We tell them that, we have a owner-operator that has locations up here, and, she's known, and they stop by, and, we just want to recognize you, Mary Ann, and say thanks for everything that you do. So, on behalf of the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald, we'd just like to say thanks. Thank you, Mary Ann. Thanks, Ashley.
Well, Mayor Pogie and Greg and everybody here, I just want to thank everybody for this awesome recognition, and I couldn't do it without my team behind me. Nothing I do is without them. So I think, first of all, my children, my family, my Mick family, and the people here in Tehachapi. You've been avid supporters of McDonald's for going on 32 years now, and we really appreciate that. I think we calculated that we've probably done at least 10,000 jobs here in Tehachapi over the years. And a lot of high school students come through, and then they go on to bigger and brighter futures out there in the world, and they always come back and thank us. 1 in 8 people in the United States have worked in McDonald's, just like Corey. He was a 1 in 8 first job at McDonald's, and then we're working together on the board. So thank you to my new family that's here to support me tonight. And again, thank you to this great recognition. Appreciate it so much.
Ready for the next item?
Sure. Except I forgot one thing. Mary Ann is also a cancer survivor.
And Mayor Pokencourt, if you don't mind, I'll go on to the second item, and we'll bring you back up in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought that was a cue.
Next on the agenda, we would like to invite Jim Gordon to come forward. This is a special month as we're looking to ask the mayor and council to proclaim Donate Life Month. And Jim Gordon from One Legacy is going to explain a little bit more. Jim?
April 21st, 2024, I received the greatest gift of my life. I received a new heart. My name is Jim Gordon. I'm volunteer ambassador for One Legacy. A little about me. I'm married, my wife over 40 years, my beautiful wife Cindy. I can't miss that part. We have 2 sons in their 30s, raising families of their own. Family has always been the most important thing in our lives. Being dad was my #1 job in life. I love being dad. Today I'm grandpa. I think I love that even more. I have 5 beautiful grandchildren, ages 1 through 12. My 12-year-old granddaughters are identical twin girls. Really special having those girls in our life after raising boys. My journey began in 2015. After a routine examination, my doctors told me I had AFib, or atrial fibrillation. And they put a pacemaker in me. I went on my merry way. I had no problems. I didn't even know I had it. For 4 years. And 4 years after that, I had my first major event. And I had a TIA, which is like a mini stroke. And they rushed me to emergency. They said my heart was weak. They transferred me to Cedars-Sinai down in Los Angeles. They replaced my pacemaker with an ICD, which is like a pacemaker with a defibrillator. But most importantly, they discovered I had a really nasty gene that causes all kinds of electrical arrhythmias and like electrical storms. But it also has a really bad prognosis, which means mine would just slowly decline. I went home, and that's what happened. For a year and a half, I was in and out of the hospital 7 different times, I mean weeks at a time. One night, emergency was called out. I was shocked twice, and the fear on my wife's face. I mean, I thought I was going to die that night with that arrhythmia and that shocking. I slowly declined to November of 2021. They finally said, Jim, your heart's gotten to the point you need to be on the transplant list. They listed me on the transplant list, and in 2.5 years journey to getting my heart. And that 2.5 years took a real toll. I still have my issues. I still have my problems. I would get to the point at the end where I could just walk around the block and maybe stop 9 or 10 times exhausted. I couldn't do household chores. I felt like I was a prisoner in my own body. And after 4 years of dealing with this, I just thought, is this my new normal? And then the phone rings, and I get a call, and it's a match, and I get a heart. And everything changes, and I get my life back. What a gift. I mean, what a gift. And I owe it to my donor. And I don't know anything about my donor, other than he's a 38-year-old male. And all I can do, and what my mission is to take as good a care of my heart as I possibly can, and to share my story with others like you guys tonight, to demonstrate just how powerful organ donation is. You know, I can't thank him personally, but I know there will be a time, maybe a heavenly meeting, where I'll see him, and I can say, from my heart, his heart, thank you so much. And thank you for the proclamation.
Mayor Pokencourt?
I'm not supposed to cry after that. Come on. No, we're glad you're here, and I'm glad I can give this to you. My neighbor is currently going through kidney transplant,
Oh,
but
goodness.
however, she is not doing as beautifully as you are doing. So,
Well, I wish
we're
you the
glad
best.
you're here to
Yes.
tell us about
Thank you
this.
so much. And just a side note, my brother, 6 months before me, heart transplant. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I've had a bypass, so, God bless you.
Yes.
It's not fun. Alrighty, One Legacy Donate Life Month. This April, we celebrate One Legacy for their Donate Life Month that raises awareness of a vital need for organ and tissue donors. Organ, eye, tissue, marrow, and blood donations are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion to those in need. More than 103,000 individuals nationwide are currently on the National Organ Transplant Waiting List. We hereby recognize this month of April as Donate Life Month, and in doing so, we encourage everyone to check yes when applying for a renewal of their driver's license or ID card at the DMV. Congratulations and thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do, and we're glad you're here to tell us.
Oh, you go ahead and start.
Pat,
Okay, and over here again. Perfect. Thank you.
thank you so
Thank you
much
so much.
already.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to share my story tonight.
Oh, absolutely, thank you.
And moving on to the next item, I'm going to invite Chief Richard Standridge to make the announcement for the next proclamation.
Mayor, council members, city manager, good evening. So we want to talk a little bit about Dispatch Appreciation Week, and that is coming up April 12th through the 18th, and we wanted to get it on the agenda and recognize these outstanding individuals that serve our community every day. And, you know, I can't say enough about the dispatch position. That has got to be one of the hardest jobs there is. You know, they sit in that room, they answer the phone, they take the call. Rarely do they talk to people when they're at their best. And they never get closure. And I think that's one of the things that folks forget. So as often as we can, officers try to go in and give them closure as to what happened at a call and things of that nature. But, you know, it's really a tough job. It's very demanding. The training continues to increase. California Post continues to see them as a immediate first responder in the things that they do of getting information and getting resources headed folks' way. And by doing that, they continue to increase the training, which in turn makes it that much more difficult for them to get off probation and then to continue to do their job. And I will say in the last couple of years, we've had quite a bit of turnover in dispatch. And I think due to the leadership of Robin Mathiasen, we're starting to see a lot of stability in that dispatch organization. And we're starting to see a revamped training program. We're starting to see a new enthusiasm for the job. And it's directly translating into the customer service provided to the citizens of Tehachapi. So before I let the mayor read this proclamation and recognize these three outstanding women in the back, we have Billy, who's one of our newer hires, who's just done a fantastic job. You just saw her graduating from the post training. We have Stacy, who's one of our communications training officers now, doing a great job helping create that next generation of communications dispatchers, and of course Robin's here. But I want to share some stats. In 2025, they handled just phone calls. Coming in, hey, how are you? Can you do this? Can you do that? 12,851 phone calls into that dispatch center. Keep in mind, the majority of the time we have one dispatcher in there. And, you know, we get two overlap. We've got some new hires coming, but that has been what they handled. They handled 3,200 911 calls. And in addition to that, there is 7,877 calls initiated by dispatchers over the radio to officers in the field. And then they also handled 9,894 officer-initiated incidents as patrol checks, traffic stops, citizen contact arrests. I mean, you name it, and they're doing it. That's an outstanding job that they do for the amount of workload that's put on them. So I think it's only appropriate that we take the opportunity to recognize them, and I thank you for doing so. Mayor, if you would please.
Okay, ladies, you better come up here with me. I don't want to be by myself.
It's not my show, you guys come on up.
My husband was a deputy sheriff for Kern County for 27 years, and your job is very, very, very vital and important to these gentlemen in the police forces. So we thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, this is a certificate of recognition presented to Tehachapi Police Department dispatchers. April 12th through the 18th marks National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, a time dedicated to recognizing the vital role of dispatchers across the nation. At TPD, we want to extend our sincere gratitude to our dispatchers for their hard work, dedication, and unwavering commitment. This week, we honor the voices behind the scene. Our dispatchers are the first responders, calm, focused, and essential to every emergency call. Thank you for your timeless efforts to keep our community and officers safe, informed, and supported. You are truly the heroes who provide calm during the storm. And I don't know how they do it sometimes during the storm, but some of their calls are not easy.
Okay, start right here.
Okay, Pat. And Pat. One more.
Okay, right back here.
Thank you, ladies. All righty.
Super.
Is this
Okay.
the time where
Yeah, we're-
those who would like to leave can leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Mayor
Thank you.
Before we take the intermission.
1 second, please. 1 second.
Before we take the intermission, I'd like to say something about dispatch. Chief, you do an amazing job, and of those 12,000 plus calls, those were 12,000 911s for the entire region. Oh wait, it's too loud?
Yeah.
For the entire region. And so we were transferring calls to Kern County Sheriff, Kern County Fire, and so we service, even though we're the city of Tehachapi, we do assist all over. And Councilmember Smith, you'll remember this, years ago, one of the best decisions we ever made as a city was to restart Tehachapi Police Department.
Bring it back in-house.
But on the heels of that, another decision had to be made, and that was bring dispatch back in-house. Dispatch was at Bear Valley CSD. And they did a fine job for us, but the costs were spiraling out of control. And so we had to go to Sacramento, and we fought the state of California to bring dispatch into this building, into local control. And so it's still too loud, isn't it? You know me, I talk loud. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to Robin and the team and all the different, things that we've been able to purchase. It's a very expensive process. We take it very serious. You take it very serious. And you're the unsung heroes of what's going on behind the scenes. So thank you very much. And we're super glad to have such a professional team assisting in our public safety. So thank you.
Take that 1 minute recess now. Thank you very much. No, I'll, no, my phone, or my steps. So if I'm gonna be either late tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not necessary. Best decision. Yes.
I've got open your email. Your contract info. Absolutely.
That was the last 10 years, wasn't it? Remember that?
No, now you need to do it. Thank you.
Good job on all that.
Thank you.
conversation. Would you like us to begin?
Sure.
Where the cheaper turns? Okay. The next item that I've got for you, Madam Mayor, Council, is we work very closely with District 9 Caltrans. That is the Caltrans we're in their district. They're assigned out of Bishop, and we're very lucky today that we have a representative of Caltrans from District 9, Brian Westman. Brian, would you mind? Brian's going to provide us some updates on some of the projects that are upcoming here that are going to impact Tehachapi. Brian, and you've got your control right there.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and city manager. My name is Brian Wessling. I am the Deputy District 9 Director for Engineering for Caltrans in Bishop, California. And I'm here to present to you our upcoming Keene pavement project, which includes one segment of the truck climbing lanes. There's 3 segments. And to take your questions and comments. Next slide.
You got it.
Okay, so some of the accomplishments that this project will do, 44.8 lane miles of new rehabilitated pavement. This is going to be the continuously reinforced concrete pavement, the kind that's basically a bridge deck that spans the asphalt, and there's no cracks. So when you drive, it doesn't go ding, 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 ding. It's going to be smooth. So it's basically a 40 to 50 year design life with very minimal maintenance involved. The 3.5 mile eastbound brand new truck climbing lane from basically the Arvin cutoff up to about Hart Flat Road, which is the steepest section of State Route 58. It's about 6% grade going eastbound. We will widen the non-paved shoulders. This means the dirt shoulders adjacent the paved 10-foot shoulder. We're going to widen the non-paved shoulders to 5 feet. We are going to upgrade all of the bridge rails, except for potentially the Tehachapi Creek overcrossing, due to some issues with the railroad we're having in the timing. We are going to install 2 brand new wildlife undercrossings. Technically, there will be 12-foot by 14-foot prefabricated concrete box culverts. One will be near Hart Flat Road, and there will be another one near Broome overcrossing. We are going to replace or upgrade about 21,000 linear feet of new culverts. That is going to be in the median. And we're building 21 new retaining walls. We'll be upgrading the safety systems, including roadway and intersection lighting. We're going to replace all the barriers, the metal beam guard railing. Where we're having collision concentrations with the metal beam guard railing, we are going to replace that with new concrete barrier, 8,300 feet approximately new concrete barrier. And we are going to be replacing the entire median barrier with the drainage underneath. Okay, this project is coming relatively soon. We are nearing the end of the development phase. We basically are about 99% done with the plans and the estimate and the specifications. We hope to be contract ready. We call it ready to list, ready to advertise the construction contract by June 15th of this year. We're just finalizing our permits with the Water Board and California Fish and Wildlife. The construction date is likely going to be sometime in 2028, and this is due to funding. The project is about $247 million in construction, paid for by the shop. However, the project is not programmed. It is a contingency, what we call a G13. So when there's money left over, when this California Transportation Commission meets, if there's money left over from all of the program projects and all of the emergency reservation, if there's money left over after that, this project would likely get funded. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we will be available to ask for funding in August of 2026 this year. Okay. Okay, this is the nuts and bolts of the project. We are going to build it in 3 stages, what we're calling segments. Each segment will be approximately 3.5 to 4.5 miles long. And the reason why we're breaking it up into 3 segments is to minimize the impacts to traffic, to the traveling public. We are strategically going to start on what we call segment 1, which is the uppermost segment, so basically between Broom Road and the Tehachapi Creek Bridge, about 3.7 miles. We are going to start there, and the reason why we're going to start there is because we believe that that's basically the easiest section to complete. And we want to get our contractor in and familiar with how to do the work. We want to get the public, the trucking industry, the interregional travelers familiar with the lane closures and what we have out there before we start progressing down the hill to the what we believe are the more challenging locations. Segment 3 being the most challenging location, we're saving that to last. Hopefully we will have a really good methodology, we'll have adapted, traffic patterns will have adapted. Segment 3 is the only segment of these 3 that contains the truck climbing lane. Like I said, between basically the Arvin cutoff and Hart Flat, well, just west of Hart Flat Road. So now, if we could, I'd like to play those 2 videos. This will give you an idea of really what the construction is going to look like and what the overall product is going to look like. So what?
You want this one first?
Yeah, this will work. Okay, this is the finished state. Okay, again, this will describe the 3 segments. We're going to have a voiceover over these videos for public consumption. So what's going to be shown here is the eastbound truck climbing lane. You're going to see a before and after pane, the before on the top, the after construction on the bottom. So this is the existing condition. Okay, here's the pane. So the finished state is on the bottom. Notice we added an uphill truck climbing lane. That's going to be for 3.5 miles. Dana Road connects right now. We're going to terminate it. Caliente will remain. Producing these videos for public outreach. We're going to post them on the project's website, our Caltrans internet site, City of Tehachapi, you'll post them. We'll give them to all of our partners, California Rural Trucking Association. We hope to distribute them far-reaching. Next video, please. This video is important, yes, because it shows how we're going to construct it. How traffic is going to be shifted to the left and to the right as we construct the various highway appurtenances. Again, just an overview of the segments 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the one that contains the truck climbing lane. So again, looking about in the same location, centered near Dana, Daleville, Caliente Road. This is the before condition. So what we propose is to construct the interior of the freeway first. The inside lanes and the median. Traffic will shift to the outside. This will allow the contractor to work safely and efficiently. Okay, when that's done, we're gonna shift traffic onto the new lanes, which are about a foot higher than the outside existing lanes. The uphill lane will have a 9-foot shoulder for emergency egress, or for when, not if, but when a vehicle breaks down, it can park in that 9-foot shoulder and wait for a tower, which we will have on site 24 hours a day for the whole duration of the project. After that's done, we'll take away the traffic control devices, strip the highway, plant. So there it is in its final condition. This is with the truck climbing lane uphill, 12-foot wide lanes, and 10 to 12-foot outside shoulders on the right. So we will produce videos similar to this showing the new traffic patterns ahead of each major traffic shift. For every stage and every phase, we'll have a new video that we'll share to the public to make them aware of what to expect. Okay, continuing on. I think I already talked about that. Phase 1, we're gonna build the inside lanes and the median. Phase 2, we will build the outside lanes. We'll have the 9-foot wide uphill outside shoulder. So this project really is gonna require a lot of public outreach during construction and before construction. Some of the things that we're going to do will be to, we are not going to write permits for oversized loads coming up the grade for the duration of the construction. When we closed the lane, I think it was in March of last year, we had a demo closure where we gathered information. We had cameras set up and speed sensors. We had drones up in the air. We wanted to see how traffic would behave. What we noticed that there were 2 oversized loads that came through, and when those oversized loads came through, that's when the system really failed, and it developed about a half-hour queue. So by eliminating those oversized loads, we expect things to go more smoothly, not perfectly, obviously. That's why we're gonna have the 9-foot uphill shoulder for vehicles to pull out on and for emergency vehicles to go back and forth, well, uphill. But what we saw in that closure, that mock closure, was that typically free flow was about 25 miles an hour. There was a peak in the morning and the evening. I think it'll be important to message to commuters to maybe offset their travel times, potentially their work times, to avoid that peak. We'll see. I think we're just gonna have to be adaptive in how we interact and react to the construction and the potential delays. There will be delays. Some of the things that we're gonna do, we have our project website, Caltrans social media site. We're working with the City of Tehachapi on outreach, social media outreach and whatnot. We're gonna have signage on all of the major freeways adjacent to 58, warning them of the construction. Greg brought up a good point today. We are going to have signs down at the bottom of the grade near General Dale Road or somewhere that makes sense where eastbound oversized loads, permitted or not, well, non-permitted, because we're not gonna be permitting during this, we would message them that they're not allowed and they need to turn around. We're gonna work closely with the California Rural Truckers Association, and major, I guess, developers, or rather, generators of truck traffic, distribution hubs, Amazon supercenters. We'll communicate with them and let them know to communicate to their truckers. They might want to find alternate routes to expect delays. So that's the end of my presentation. I'd love comments or questions. Feel free.
I have a question.
Sure.
So are we gonna wait for the full funds for you guys to have the full funds before you start the project? Or are you gonna do segment 1 with partial funds and then wait for the rest of the funds, segment 2?
That's a good question. Right now, we anticipate constructing segment 1, 2, and 3 in one contract at one time. It's gonna take about 3 years to do it. That would be $247 million. So it depends if the CTC makes us break the project into segments that are more palatable to the budget, so to speak. But right now, our intention is to fund the full thing when funds become available.
Okay, and then that kind of segues to my second question. So best case scenario is 3 years.
For
What are the
construction.
chances for worst case scenario, a 3-year project turning into a 10-year project and we're kind of stuck with
I don't.
an undone freeway? Does that make sense? Or
Yeah,
highway?
no, that makes sense. We have very punitive, what we call liquidated damages, whereby if a contractor, so right now, we calculate between 700 and 800 working days. When we finalize the contract, we're gonna say it is 750 working days. And if you go a day over that, you owe us a certain percentage of the total capital construction cost. So in a project like this, that's gonna be like $40,000. So that's gonna be their penalty for going each day over that 700 days. So they're gonna be, with that, they're incentivized to be innovative, to be efficient, to look at things like doing night work, 24-hour shifts, things like that. You know, we're not gonna mandate night work, but the way that we can encourage it is by giving them fewer working days and then having those punitive liquidated damages at the end.
Okay.
I have a question. Segment 3, if I have it correctly, is also not just a 6% incline. That seems to be where a lot of our weather hits in the wintertime with ice, and we get escorted, or Highway Patrol escorts vehicles through there. I'm assuming you'll be working with Highway Patrol to ensure safety during those dangerous weather, storms that are
Absolutely.
unpredictable. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been working with Maria and her staff, and we've been in close communication, and we will mitigate that. We'll be out there. We're going to have Caltrans inspectors out there every day with their lights flash with the light bars. So we'll be able to adjust and adapt to any inclement weather that we have, and we will have to go through occasionally and plow the road, remove snow, blow
Right.
snow. There's going to be delays caused by that as well. But we've been working with the CHP.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any questions from the audience as well? None?
I have a question, sorry. And then when you mentioned the material's gonna be good for about 40 to 50 years, is that the best kind of material we have? Because we're gonna have to do this again in 50 years?
It's the best kind of material we have right now. It has the longest design life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the high end. It's the Cadillac.
Okay.
Yeah.
40 or 50 years is a long
Well, I was
time.
relating
I
to
thought that was
Brian
pretty good.
earlier. When I got out of high school here in '68, I worked at the batch plant. It's up behind the glider port for Peter Kiewit Construction. They got the aggregate for the concrete out of that mountainside there. And I worked there in '68 when we put the first lay of concrete here, which you see. So it's been there for a long time, but it's and it's an old failing facility, what we call it.
It's done well for how it was designed and constructed. It's done well.
I have a question. Did you mention that they're gonna do the outside lanes first, and there's gonna be maybe a foot drop off from the new work to the shoulder, correct?
Correct.
So if we have an incident, are you gonna have landing zones that are built up level with, because you can't just get off on a 1 foot drop off?
That's a good point. We will likely have something,
I'd
perhaps
say
we can.
berms or what, you're gonna have
A
places.
dirt, like a dump truck on hand with dirt to dump and create a temporary.
Well, I just thought, well, if they're stationary, you've gotta pull them up maybe to, every so often, you're gonna have a mound where a vehicle can pull off level with the new construction, so. Just thinking, it's gonna have to be so long where a tow truck can back up and get a big rig off.
Right.
While the folks at Tower Line Road wait, so. So, anyway, okay.
Anyone else? Well, thank you so much. I've been wondering how they were gonna do this, so now I have a good idea of what to expect or not expect, let's put it that way.
So when can we expect the audio overlay onto the video and have it ready for the public? They can start watching it whenever, I mean,
I think within the next couple of months, we should have it.
okay. And then Key and his group we can have it ready for our residents.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Thank you very
Mayor.
much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yes.
I'd like to say thank you to Brian for coming up this evening. This has been a giant team effort with, the city, Senator Grove, Caltrans District 9, District 6.
City of Tehachapi.
City of Tehachapi, thank you. We've helped, but our part is tiny compared to what you guys, this is a heavy lift. And everything you've done is very impressive with the design, the engineering, the communications with the city, with our law enforcement, on and on and on. So thank you very much. Please let your colleagues know
I
that
will
we
pass that on.
sincerely appreciate the work that's been put in. And
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to this project, even though they say you have to crack some eggs to make an omelet, right? That's where we are at this point. Would encourage everybody to just be patient, but it will, in fact, provide a better, safer, corridor between here and the San Joaquin Valley. So thank you very much for your work.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Can I just say one more thing real quickly? The majority of the people who live here in Tehachapi commute. They commute out of the area. And last year, we saw so many really horrific accidents that a climbing lane would have prevented. And one life is one too many lost from that. So we are very grateful and excited for this project, and our community is grateful. And there's gonna be some growing pains, but we'll be patient because at the end of the day, we want everyone to come back home.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. Okey-doke. Thank you so much again. It clarified some things of what are going to happen. We're going to remove item 11 from the agenda. That's item 11. Okay, consent agenda.
That's right, that's good.
All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the council or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. If comment or discussion is desired by anyone, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the city council concerning the item before action is taken. Is there anyone from the audience that would like an item removed? Audience, council? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Second? Roll call order, roll call vote, please.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Power?
Yes.
And Podencourt?
Yes.
It's 4-0 vote to approve. Thank you.
Okay, oral communication. The city council welcomes public comments on any items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Persons addressing the council should first state their name and area of residence. the matter of city business to be discussed, and the organization or persons represented, if any. No action can be taken by the council on matters not listed on the agenda. All speakers are allotted 3 minutes at the podium. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak? Development Services Report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and council members. The item I have before you tonight is the Mojave Well Transmission Main Intertie Project. A little bit of background on the project. So this project involves installing a new water main line from the Mojave Well near the intersection of Mojave and D Street. It'll run east along D Street to Snyder, and then turn and go south on Snyder all the way to Valley Boulevard. And then along the way, it will connect into a line that runs from the existing Denison well, which is on the corner of Anita and Denison, and then our existing Snyder well, which is right there at the intersection of D and Snyder as well. So the project involves running a new water main and connecting in 3 wells to that. It will assist with us blending the water from those 3 wells, and it also provides for additional water production from the existing Snyder well. If you recall, the existing Snyder well pumps into the Tehachapi Cummings County Water District system currently, and we'll be diverting that, converting that from their system over to our system, which would add about 750 gallons a minute of production into our domestic water system. And so those 3 wells coming in will go directly to the curry tanks and allow for better blending of the water and a higher quality of water. You may recall that back in September, the staff brought this project to the council for rejection of bids. So we went out to bid. At that time, we were ready to do the project. We only had 1 bidder on the project, and we just weren't comfortable with awarding that project at the time to a single bidder, and we weren't quite sure about the pricing either. So we decided to cancel the bids and wait until the spring, or winter in this case, to go out to bid. So we went out to rebid in February for the project, and we received, how many are there? 8 bids, yeah. 2 of the bids were determined to have errors in them, and 1 was considered to be non-responsive. But you can see the spread of the bids there in the table, and we were quite pleased with the bids that were correct, that were accurate. They were fairly close on the bottom 4 there. We're fairly close in prices. Staff has reviewed the bids and determined that the low bid was responsive, which is from West Valley Construction. As far as fiscal impact goes, we have budgeted this project in the mid-year for a total of $1.3 million. So staff's recommendation is that you award the Mojave and Snyder Well Transmission Main Intertie Project to West Valley Construction in the amount of $994,325 and authorize the city manager to approve any necessary change orders up to a maximum of 20% of the original contract, or $198,865. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
I have a question, Don. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do I have any comments from the audience? Council?
Go ahead.
So, these 3 wells, do they serve a certain area in Tehachapi or all of the city?
No, the way the water system works is that basically everything goes to the curry tanks, and then it gets distributed out from there. So there's no dedicated wells for specific areas.
Okay, so now, right now, the way that we have it, each well goes to Curry, and then it gets dispersed to the whole city of Tehachapi?
Essentially, yeah. Right now, the Mojave well, it gets to the Curry tanks eventually, but it goes through the distribution system to get there. This will be a much more direct route and provide for better blending.
Okay, so now that if we blend it and one goes bad, does that mean all of our water is gonna go bad?
No, actually, it's the opposite.
Okay.
Because if at any given time we're operating multiple wells, if one, and it doesn't go bad, but if any component of the water happens to be outside of the normal, then it will by default be blended with the other water that's being produced at the same time.
Oh, so it won't contaminate?
So, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So what's important is what the combined quality is of the water, not the quality of any given well, right?
Okay.
So if you have a high component in this well, but the other wells are low, that's fine, it all blends out, right?
Okay, thank you.
So it's the average of them that matters.
Thanks, Marianne, that was good, thank you.
So we took Snyder offline a number of years ago
Yeah.
because it had some issues with the nitrates at the
With
plant.
nitrates, yeah.
So we let Cummings tap into that for irrigation or whatever?
Yes, so with the intent, so at the time, the intent was that we would put that into the Tehachapi Cummings system to be used for irrigation. We would flush that well over time and hopefully it would draw the nitrates out of the soil and the water quality would get better. What we found is that as that well produced more consistently and with the higher production, it did exactly what the intent was, and the nitrates did come down.
So it's gonna be a very good producing well. You said
Yeah.
750? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that range, yeah. We have a little bit of work to do to the well yet, but take care of that.
I had a question. I recognize some of the names who gave us bids, but I'm not familiar with West Valley Construction. Have we done projects with them in the past?
I believe we have, I know Tyler has some experience with them, but they're a well-known, highly reputable
Okay.
company from Bakersfield.
Okay, so not just the lowest bid from a qualifier, but somebody we
Yeah.
actually trust as well?
That's correct.
Okay.
Just for clarity too, public contract code does not allow us to award based on our experience with them. We are required by the public contract code to award to the low bid, lowest qualified bid. Responsive, thank you, that's what I said before, responsive bid.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll take a motion.
I'll second.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Power,
Yes.
and Poland-Court.
Yes.
So 4-0 vote to approve.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, city manager reports.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Council member reports. Mariana,
Nothing this evening.
Phil,
Nothing this evening.
Jeanette?
Nothing tonight.
In my area, there's construction going on again. The Aspen Marketplace looks like it's finally telling us what it wants to do or what it's going to do. And then the house that recently burned down in our neighborhood is finally looking like a house again after a year, over a year. Yeah, so it's really, that's good. Okay, we will adjourn to closed session. If there's anything that is of importance, someone will come out and inform you. Okay. Do I?
If you want.
Okay.
Yes, she does.